Now let's talk about the top plane. In the first instance, it may seem a bit weird, why do I need this plane? As we look down from the cut plane to the bottom, apparently the objects above are left behind. In fact, that's true for most elements, except those that belong to three categories: windows, casework, and generic models. Here, I want to show you an example for a window and a cabinet. But before, look at this nice feature in Revit, Tile Views, on the View tab. It displays all the open views in the workspace. That's interesting. Now the section 1 I don't need, so I'm going to close it and move the other two in order to have them side to side. Now it's going to be easier to explain what I want. I changed the cut plane in the view range to 1050. And you can see that both window and the upper cabinet, which is from the casework category, are still displayed. That's not the case of the oven. So if I move it to that area, you can see that it disappears from the floor plan. The oven is not part of one of these three categories. Notice that the cabinet displays in the same way even if I move it to the place between the cut and bottom planes. And the same happens for the windows also. View depth. The view depth is not part of the primary range. It's an option to display elements beyond the bottom plane. Example. Let's draw some walls on the ground floor plan, just next to the exterior walls of the house. And their height, I want it to reach just the first floor. So I change unconnected option to first floor. Okay, now I will go to the first floor view and make sure the three planes at the primary view range cover just this floor, like in the image that I'm showing here. Then, the walls I have just drawn are appearing here because the view depth is set as unlimited. It means that everything below the bottom plan shows in the drawing. If I change the view depth to ground floor, from now on, it will have its limits there. The result is almost the same, except this little portion of the floor at the ground floor, which is located under the ground floor level, and that's why now it's not showing. However, look what happens if I change it to first floor. The objects below disappear. So what is the difference between bottom level and view depth? First, I am going to change the view style to hidden lines. It will be better to understand. And first, I open a selection window to cover everything, and I realize that the elements located in the view depth area are not selected. But I can select these walls individually by clicking on each of them one at a time. Another difference is that the line style for the objects just on the view depth is different. We can understand that by going to the line style under Additional Settings on the Manage tab. Here, the tag Beyond is dedicated for the view depth. You will see, I'm going to change the line color to a blue one. And also, for example, the line pattern, let's put a dashed line with a dot. Click on Apply, and now you can see that it's easier to distinguish those elements. And this is important. If I want to restore the previous tile, it doesn't work by pressing Ctrl Z, and after clicking Apply, it doesn't do anything if I cancel the window. Basically, I have to put it back how it was. Cuttable categories. Now I want to explain roughly how different elements act when they are crossed by the cut plane. Construction elements like walls, windows, doors, roofs are cuttable elements. For those, the section displayed is exactly where the cut plane intersects. On the other hand, most of non-construction elements like furniture objects are non-cuttable. That's the case of the things in this kitchen. There is a microwave here, an oven, a cabinet, a freeze, and also a table and chairs. They are always displayed in the same way, no matter where the cut plane passes by. These are representative elements, and usually there is no point if we show them just cut in half. Now look, if the cut plane crosses the microwave, nothing changes. Until it's completely above it, then, do you see? It does not display anymore. The same happens with the cabinet. Here, the result is not different, except that this element also displays in the top plane area, meaning that I have to move it completely above my view range to not show there. Now, I'm going to insert a window, but this time I want to load a different family. This one, you will see. Let's place it on this wall. Then I'm going to move it a bit down, and you can see that when the cut plane intersects this area that makes an arc, the section shown in the plan starts to change, because the window is a cuttable category. At a certain point, when it's no longer intersected, it disappears from the view plane. But why did it happen if it's still in the view range? Because now the cut plane only intersects the wall, and once the window is under it, we cannot see it in the plan view. Now I'm going to open a roof plan and have a look how roofs are commonly displayed. It looks like they are open in the middle. That's regarding the location of the cut plane. As the roof is a cuttable category, I can only see in my floor plan the section below. And you can better understand this by looking at the section view. Change the cut plane in the view range. I'm going to change the value to 2000, for example. And look, the cut section updates in the plan. To display all the roof, I can set a big number like 3500 millimeters. Then the top has to be either equal or higher than that. Click on Apply, and here you have the changes. You can see everything now. So to return to the previous state, always press Ctrl Z.